In today's video, we will focus on the Flight Editing tab in General Settings section. Here, the Trip Edit scheme allows setting both packs and cargo as default values to be entered into the editor panel. The Show IATA Service tab sets the default service type option to include IATA service type in ASM and SSIM IATA message. The default IATA service type should be taken into the flight type, and then you can overwrite it on every flight individually. Checking the Show Aircraft ID box makes it so Leon displays the aircraft identification number within the flight editing details. Checking the Airport Opening Hours box allows Leon to monitor airport opening hours and display a warning if you try to add a flight where standard time of departure and standard time of arrival are outside the opening hours. Checking the Show Max Range Exceeding Warning option, which can be defined in the Aircraft Edition in Fleet Settings, makes Leon display a warning in the Ops and Sales panels when trying to save. When it comes to the next three options, require manual enabling of FDP, require manual enabling of risk reduction and require manual enabling for split duty, if any of these checkboxes are marked, the corresponding features must be manually enabled in the Flight Crew tab, after clicking on the Edit button. With the default trip note, a new flight is created with the trip note text if set. The text will be displayed in the calendar and trip edit, as well as the note section. If the Prohibit Flights Without AOC is ticked, the AOC in the Ops section has to be set on the other note. The Create Training for option activates one of the options, Captain, and First Officer or the whole cockpit. Leon will automatically extend recency only for crew members in the specified position. If the Auto-Update Expiry Training Date is ticked, Leon will automatically update the Pilot Airport Recency, given that the checkbox Airport Recency is marked in the airport directory and the journey logs are filled out correctly. Enable engineers to count towards augmented crew or enable instructors to count towards augmented crew are settings that will automatically update pilots' airport recency, given that the checklist airport recency is marked in the airport directory and the journey logs are filled out correctly. This means the instructor or engineer storage in-flight rest extension will also be counted. When the Show to be confirmed option on the flight option is marked, Leon will display TBC on the flight, instead of departure and arrival times. This will only happen in the Ops calendar and the itinerary when trying to create a request for a quote. When enabled, total of cycles airframe increased by 1. Total of cycles airframe will calculate as 1 regardless of the number of landings instead in the journey log. Standard time of departure, standard time of arrival editing. Keep block time is a modification of standard time of departure and arrival values. However, it will not affect the change of the block time. Block time update after flight time change includes various settings, such as no block time update, update block time with no rounding, round up to 5 minutes and round up to 10 minutes. Reset handlers after aircraft change will reset the departure and destination handles when there is a change of the aircraft on the flight. The status will be displayed as question marks. With the default airport for simulators, whenever you select a simulator, the specified airport will be the default one inserted in the proper tab. Ops cautions trigger forward a period of days is actually a forward and backward period of days, so you can define a number of days for which warnings will be checked in the Ops. If you enter 0, the checks will only be done until midnight due to C. If empty, the period will be infinite. Trip type settings go by the operator, active trip types, default commercial type and default ICAO type, and can be defined per trip type individually. This will be applied once the new trips created will be booked. The trip selection can only be made from the active trip type selection in the table located underneath. This will be overwritten in the Ops section in Fleet Settings per individual aircraft registration marks. Flight time suggestion based on different factors applies whenever you add a flight. The time will be kept according to a great circle distance with historical average wins, whenever it surpasses 10 entries in historic values, historical flights, route finder, and the for-flight integration, to get the suggested flight time basis. Custom delay codes may appear on different journey log and flight watch entries. You may choose up to 5 individual custom delay codes with their description in here. Enabled Approaches option allow you to select which approaches match your aircraft's capability of navigation, flight planning, and navigating on the route, and choose presented options in either experience or journey logs to be chosen among many others to come.